It's time for my Night of Champions 2025 predictions. This is a show I think I'm the same as most people. I didn't have a lot of expectations going into. I just thought it was going to be another throwaway Saudi show. But with recent developments and some matches added to the card, and some matches WWE have finally decided to give us, this has actually turned into a kind of anticipated show. So let's get into it. The first match, and a match that was just added this week, is Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. Now I know a lot of people are going to be happy about this because Karrion Kross has been getting a lot of momentum online. There's a lot of people calling out that he deserves a chance. He's been doing a lot of great work on his social media promos. He's getting a lot of hype on main event matches, which nobody ever really pays too much attention to. So it's been cool to see him grow in that way. And it's nice that Triple H is finally going to give him a chance and see what he can do in a featured match. This is kind of continuing the storyline that Kross has been carrying out for the past few months, where he's basically an evil, corrupting figure on the sidelines. He's trying to corrupt AJ Styles. He's obviously trying to corrupt Sami Zayn. He's trying to get across the message to them that basically if they listen to him, do evil things, turn heel essentially, that they'll go further, they'll win more matches, they'll win titles. Sami Zayn needs to turn heel to win the World Heavyweight title, for example. Which is what Seth Rollins said to Sami Zayn after WrestleMania. Basically, Sami can't get it done, he can't win the world title, he needs to change things up. So that's why some people are suspecting Sami eventually will turn heel. But I don't know which is the better story there. Sami Zayn having to turn heel to finally win the world title, or finally overcoming the odds as a babyface to win it. Probably the babyface one. So this will continue the storyline, I'm sure, of Karrion Kross tempting fate, trying to tempt Sami to going to the dark side. Triple H does have a big chance here to troll everyone online by finally putting Karrion Kross in a featured match at a PLE and then just jobbing him out in 2 seconds and then completely relegating him back to main event then. But I don't think he's going to do that. I think the more interesting story here, well, see, now that I think about it, Karrion Kross did have that thing with AJ Styles a while ago where he almost sacrificed himself to let AJ get the win in an attempt maybe to fuel AJ on to do more evil things and light a fire under him. So we could see a route here where Karrion Kross just lets himself get beat by Sami to kind of fire Sami up and give him a taste of something that he can go on to win the world title in that way. But I don't know, I just don't think that's as interesting. I think if you're going to finally, okay, let's feature Karrion Kross, let's give this experiment a shot, let's see what he can do in a featured position, I think you've got to give Karrion Kross the winner. I don't know how. I think he should win clean. I don't think he should cheat. Maybe there should be a moment where Sami is thinking of cheating to win and he doesn't, and that costs him the win, and Karrion can use that as like, see, you could have bet me if you cheated, but ultimately he didn't. So I'm going to go with Karrion Kross on this one. Next, in a street fight, it's Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez in the never-ending story of Rhea Ripley and the Judgment Day and the Judgment Day Vortex. I think this can be a good match. Rhea Ripley's a good worker, Raquel Rodriguez is an underrated worker, and with the street fight added in there, it'll give it a bit more oomph. But is there enough build to this? This probably would make more sense if this was Liv Morgan, but obviously she's injured and Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan have gone at it time and time again, so you're kind of bored of seeing that. Rhea Ripley's gone up against the Judgment Day for what feels like forever now. I don't think Liv's going to interfere, she's injured. Is Dom going to interfere on Judgment Day's behalf, cost Rhea? I don't know, there's a few directions they can go with. I'm really thinking. What makes the most sense here? Does Rhea need the win? Do you know what? No, I was going to go with Judgment Day cost Rhea the win and Raquel wins the match. But we can't continue this. They can't keep getting away with this Judgment Day going on forever storyline of infighting, but they're not really infighting, but it feels like Rhea's infighting because she was a part of the team. So I'm going to go definitively. Rhea's going to beat Raquel clean. Maybe it could stir something up. Nobody comes to help Raquel, so she's jealous. You know, Liv can't come help her. Dom is obsessed. He's got his eyes on other prizes at the moment. So maybe that's the direction they're going to go with it. But I'm not that interested in this. I'm way more interested in the other women's match later on in the show. I just feel this one, it's been done. We've seen Judgment Day and Rhea, and this kind of, there's no direct build, but we're always having build in the background for months and months and months. So I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley on this one. Next, for the United States Championship, Jacob Fatu defending against Solo Sikoa. Look, I think this is an easy one to predict. I think Jacob, of course, is going to retain. I just suppose the matter of how he's going to retain. Well, now that I've said that. You see, I initially was going to go with Jacob because I feel like his reign has been a bit underwhelming. He did have a good Fatal 4-Way a while ago, that was a great match. But apart from that, I just feel like he's been pretty forgettable since he won it at WrestleMania. So I was thinking, oh, they're not going to take it off him now. You know, Jacob, they're really pushing him strong. He's really popular. People love Jacob Fatu, and I feel like they're not going to pump the brakes on that US title reign yet. But the more interesting storyline is probably Solo taking the belt off of Jacob, and then Jacob can begin the chase again to try to take the belt back off Solo. Jacob is basically a babyface now, so babyfaces are always better in the chase, going after the title. So that probably makes more sense. Could we see a returning member of the bloodline? Tongaloa, Tamatonga. Obviously Mateo's in there now. There's probably another debuting member set to interfere. So the deck is stacked against Jacob. So, you know, I think I'm switching. On the fly, I'm switching. I think Solo's going to win. That'll probably set up a rematch at SummerSlam. I don't think Roman's going to get involved now or down the road. I think that storyline is done. I think Roman, when he comes back, he's got bigger fish to fry. He'll probably be in the world title picture going after Seth Rollins maybe, depending on where he's at that point. So I don't think Roman interferes now or down the line. But in this specific match, I feel like Solo's going to win. That's going to put more sympathy on Jacob. And I think, you know what, giving Solo a title, it's probably overdue. Solo got a lot of hate when he was kind of feuding with Cody Rhodes for what seemed like forever. He faced him in every house show, got put through hundreds of tables. And he basically was a placeholder for Roman Reigns. He was just Roman Reigns light. Solo has a lot of good moments. I think a lot of fans online appreciate how funny Solo is. He's great kind of with those off-mic, off-the-cuff moments. As a comedy kind of heel. He almost reminds me of a Kevin Owens type character where what he says is so funny, it makes him so likeable that he's almost like an anti-hero to a lot of fans. He's almost like a tweener where he's not fully babyface and not fully heel. His actions are heel-like. He's put in so much work and he's had a lot of decent showings and he's had a lot of funny moments that I think some fans, not all, are starting to appreciate Solo as a decent hand in WWE, which I know being labelled as a decent hand can almost be like a death sentence sometimes. But I feel like he deserves it. I'm going to go with Solo for the US title. In the Queen of the Ring finals, we have Jade Cargill versus a newly returned Asuka. Obviously, Asuka's just returned. Jade Cargill kind of continuing on a rise up through the WWE ranks, being featured more and more prominently as a single star. I feel like this will be a good match. Asuka's obviously a great worker. Jade, obviously still a bit ropey in some areas, but she's come on leaps and bounds in the past few years. And I feel like Asuka and her kind of... I'm not going to say Asuka will carry her to a great match, that's not fair on Jade, but Asuka would be great to have in there for Jade to kind of push back on and bounce stuff off of for them to have a great match. If you were to ask me in the moment, pick someone, 3, 2, 1, go, I'd say Jade. Just because I feel like, you know, that aligns more with her rise through WWE. It'll give her, it'll create an interesting dynamic because her and Naomi are feuding, but Naomi has the briefcase. But then if Jade wins, she has a guaranteed title shot, so there's Naomi and Jade feuding, both with guaranteed title shots in the bank. But then who's Naomi going to go after? Who's Jade going to go after? Could Jade win and then cash in on Naomi? Could Naomi win before SummerSlam and then Jade could go after her for the title? So there's a few avenues you could go with that. Whereas with Asuka, I feel like right now there's less established avenues to go with that. Obviously Asuka versus Io Sky would be a fantastic match. Asuka and Tiffany Stratton would be a great match as well. But there's nothing, I suppose, in place right now in recent memory to kind of write storylines into fruition smoothly. So even though Jade does make more sense, I think I'm going to go with Asuka on this one. I feel like there's too many loose threads that Naomi might cost Jade the match or something like that. She wants to protect her chance with the belt as much as possible so she can't have someone else being a #1 contender. And I feel like it would be easy for WWE to write Asuka into a good solid storyline to either go after Tiffany Stratton or Io Sky with her Queen of the Ring win. And then that obviously would heat up the feud with Jade Cargill and Naomi, and obviously Bianca Belair's in there somewhere. I just feel like there's more narrative opportunity with going with the Asuka win that can spin off into her own branch of things, and then with Jade losing, that can spin off into its own branch of things. Rather than Jade winning, I feel like that just leaves Asuka with no momentum, not no momentum, but less momentum just after coming back so recently. Next, in the men's King of the Rings final, we have Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, versus Randy Orton. This will be a great match. I know a lot of people are excited for this. A lot of people think Orton might turn heel. Will Orton play the heel in this match? Because we've got two baby faces going against each other. It's obviously cool for fans who grew up in that late 2010s era, fans of Legacy. You know, Orton was like a mentor to Cody Rhodes during those years. So there's a bit of that mentor-student dynamic. These have rarely faced off against each other. I can't remember the last time. I don't think they have faced off against each other since Cody's come back to WWE. So this is a big match. Obviously with the winner of this getting a title shot at SummerSlam probably. I don't think this is a coin toss. I don't think it's 50-50. I think it's 60-40. No, it's probably 70-30. I think it's going to be Cody Rhodes. It just makes sense. Cody Rhodes is the WWE poster boy. And then that's obviously a great way to write him into a storyline to face John Cena for the rematch. Spoilers for my later prediction. It's just right there on a plate for WWE. There is going to be a Cena-Cody rematch for the belt. It'll probably be at SummerSlam. So it makes the most sense for Cody to win here. Because I feel like if Randy wins, who's he going to go after? Cena? We've already seen that. If Punk wins, is he going to go after him? I don't see it. That could happen. I just don't feel like that'll be the match at SummerSlam. If Randy wins, it goes after the world title. Either Gunther or Goldberg. We've seen Randy Gunther. Rematch could be cool. Randy Goldberg, doesn't seem like that's going to happen. Then on the other side of things, could Cody go after the world title? Cody Gunther, I don't know. Cody Goldberg will be interesting, and obviously you don't know. Could Seth cash in? Could someone else be the world champion? We don't know, but I just feel like logically, it makes sense for Cody to win. It would be a nice another feather in his cap, a King of the Ring win, as well with his Royal Rumble wins and stuff like that. It just builds up the legacy of Cody even more. Legacy, see what I did there? I do think there's a possibility Cody could actually be cost this match by Jey Uso. They've just consistently paired those two up as chummy buddies over the past few years. They were tag team champions at one point, I keep forgetting. So I feel like the natural conclusion to any wrestling partnership is for one to turn on the other. I just don't see it happening here with Jey so soon after losing the title. He's still so popular, and I feel like it just gives him no direction. Where does he go from there? People are saying they might team back up the Usos. If they were to team up, would they be heels? Would they be baby faces? You'd have to assume they're going to be baby faces. So I just don't see it happening here. Don't think Jey's going to cost. Possibility, small possibility, don't think it's going to happen. Cody Rhodes, my prediction for King of the Ring winner 2025. And in the main event, finally, we have CM Punk, the challenger, defending against John Cena, the GOAT, the 17-time world champion. WWE finally gave us this after they probably should have given us it at Money in the Bank, but they just like playing with our emotions, so they've decided to give it to us here instead. This is a really interesting storyline. The way WWE have woven real life and kayfabe into this, CM Punk's actual hatred for the kind of Saudi regime, not wanting to go there, the real life fan and worldwide kind of animosity towards the Saudi regime and the workers' rights violations and the human rights violations. Cena referencing that with his pipe bomb promo on SmackDown, which was an awesome promo, by the way. It is so strange for a company to do that. WWE is paid by the Saudi government to come over and host shows, and then they incorporate how much people in the world hates the Saudi government and the treatment of people over there into a storyline. It's very risky almost from a corporate standpoint, from a business standpoint. I still think it's just a wild world we live in where we're getting Cena versus Punk in Saudi Arabia. Punk obviously very vocal before he didn't want to go to Saudi Arabia. He made that infamous tweet against The Miz a few years ago, and it's a nice bit of storyline having Cena being the heel to get a bit of heat on him by using Punk's hatred of going to Saudi against him. That's the only place he'll face him for the title. It makes sense. It makes the character of Punk hate Cena. It makes us as the fans not like Cena for making Punk go back on his morals. If you're a fan of Punk, you might be in two minds. If you still respect Punk as a character for going against his morals, but then you're not putting that animosity towards the character of CM Punk or even the man Phil Brooks, you're putting that animosity towards Cena, who's making him do this if he wants to go after the title. So the last month of the John Cena retirement tour has probably been better than the last 2 to 3 months, which is great, and I hope they can keep that momentum going after this, but I think Cena has to win here. I just feel like, again, they're setting up that rematch at SummerSlam between Cena and Cody, where Cody will probably win the belt back, or maybe Rollins will even cash in, and I just feel like that's completely derailed and goes off the rails if Punk wins here. But you never know. I'd be pleasantly surprised if Punk wins, and I wouldn't even mind it, but I think Cena's going to get the win. I also think he should win clean. I think as we start going back towards Cena turning back to be a babyface, I think he needs to kind of show a bit more of the older Cena in terms of like, I can do this on my own. I think it undermines a lot of what he's doing when everything is just titled, belted ahead, fiend, here comes Travis Scott. I suppose just The Rock show up. I don't know. I don't think The Rock's going to show up. But does it make more sense storyline wise for Cena to continue down the evil path and continue winning with heel tactics, only to have that redemption arc? I don't know. I don't want the Cena redemption to be just click your fingers and he's back. I realized I was wrong. You almost need to tease a babyface turn slowly over time. You know those moments where he looks out at the crowd and it looks like he's regretting things and stuff like that. So I think having him win clean, and Cena and Punk have had great matches in the past, there doesn't need to be any interruptions. They need to have that match like they had on that Raw before WrestleMania 29 where they broke out the pile driver, and obviously Money in the Bank 2011. Give them time, let it breathe, have no interference, just have a great match. Probably will be the last time these two great rivals go against each other. End of an era for a lot of fans who either came back to wrestling because of Summer of Punk or got into wrestling around that time. So give those people a treat. Come on, Triple H, let it breathe, let it have a good match. Let's see Cena or Punk win, but whoever wins, let's see him win clean. I suppose for my last set of predictions, I'm going to look at will the Money in the Bank briefcases factor in either the men's or the women's. I don't think Naomi's going to factor in because the women's championships aren't defended on this card. Night of Champions, but the women's titles aren't defended. Who would have thought? So probably a non-factor. Does Seth Rollins get involved? No Gunther, so no, he won't get involved there. But will he get involved in Cena versus Punk? Again, I don't think so. I think it's less interesting. I think Seth having the briefcase for an extended period of time, being looming presence in both the world title and the universal title pictures, is a way better use of that character, that kind of wise man Rollins character, than just giving it away and ruining it and a kind of throwaway moment. It wouldn't be a throwaway moment to do it in Punk Cena. That would be a big moment, but I think Punk Cena needs to stand out on its own. I think a better moment is SummerSlam. Maybe if Cody win the belt off Cena, Rollins cashes in, takes the belt off Cody, even more sympathy on Cody. That could fuel Cena realising, God, Cody was done unjustly, that's not fair. Cody beat Cena clean at SummerSlam, Cena would respect that, and then it wouldn't be fair for Seth to come in and just take that away from him. So I don't think there's going to be a cash in on this event. What do you think? Was I right, or do I have absolutely no clue what I'm talking about? Let me know in the comments below. If you like what I'm doing here on YouTube, please subscribe for more random content, wrestling, gaming, vlogs, vlogs, travel, whatever I can think of. All right, that's it. I'm done. I'll see you on the next one.